I absolutely agree with my honourable friend. Mr. Deputy Speaker, we spent some 40 years, I've given way once, some 40 years in this House arguing over Europe, and in the end the only thing we could agree on was that we couldn't agree. And so we voted overwhelmingly to give the decision to the people in a referendum, and then some in this House spent 3 years deliberately ignoring the result. They pulled every trick in the book, the Grieve Amendment, the Letwin Amendment, time after time, in order to try and overturn a result with which they and the British establishment patently did not agree. We played a ridiculous game where some on those benches, some, and indeed some on these, stuck to a mantra of "I will never vote to allow us to crash out with no deal." What they meant was, "I'll never ever vote for us to leave the EU under any circumstances, but because of the referendum I can't say so." So finally we had to have this general election to break the logjam. And I'm afraid those on these benches that took that view, who assured us time and again they were doing what their constituents wanted, were proven incorrect, because their constituents had the opportunity to renew their contract of employment and patently in every single case declined to do so. Also, Mr. Steve Bray, the man in the hat, stood as a Liberal Democrat candidate in a Welsh constituency, had the courage to put his name on the ballot paper, and came sixth and lost his deposit. And we wish him a happy and silent retirement. Mr. Deputy Speaker, the war in this place over Europe, and it has been a war, is finally coming to a close, not because there was a truce, but because the British people imposed their will on us and told us unequivocally in the general election they wanted to leave. Many here had argued for 2 years for a people's vote. We've just had one. It's called a general election, and the outcome was unmistakably clear. The people of this country peacefully and democratically voted to get Brexit done. So, Mr. Deputy Speaker, we will leave the European Union at 11 p.m. GMT on the 31st of January, and I hope, Mr. Speaker, in line with EDM2, the House authorities may allow Big Ben to chime at that time to mark that historic occasion. Because, by God, after all this, we're not doing it again.